Most people try to look confident, but Sigma males don't need to. They move differently. While others perform confidence to be noticed, the Sigma builds it in silence. He doesn't fake presence. He earns it. That's why fake confidence crumbles around him. The Sigma doesn't talk louder to prove strength. He doesn't need validation to feel powerful. He reads people, their tone, their body language, their motives, and he sees through the performance instantly. Fake confidence can impress the crowd, but it doesn't fool a man who's mastered himself. To the Sigma, confidence isn't about dominance. It's about control. Control of emotion, reaction, and attention. While others chase attention to feel worthy, the Sigma uses discipline to stay grounded. His silence alone exposes those who only act strong when someone's watching. You'll see it in social settings. The loud ones seek validation. The Sigma seeks observation. The difference is subtle but deadly. He knows real confidence doesn't need to be seen. It only needs to be felt. That's why his presence intimidates fake alphas. They can't understand how calm can feel that powerful. In this video, you'll learn exactly how Sigma males outsmart fake confidence, not by competing, but by staying so authentic that pretenders can't stand next to them. Before we begin, subscribe to UltraWise, like this video, and comment, "Authenticity wins every time," because fake confidence fades fast. They read energy, not words. Fake confidence is loud, but energy never lies. That's why Sigma males don't get fooled by what people say. They pay attention to how it feels. Words can be rehearsed, tones can be imitated, but energy exposes everything. When a Sigma enters a room, he's not listening for who talks the most. He's scanning the atmosphere. The posture, the eye contact, the micro reactions. He notices the small details that most people ignore. The forced smile, the defensive tone, the quick glance of insecurity. He reads all of it, silently. This is what separates him from the crowd. While others judge people based on confidence in their words, the Sigma reads their alignment. If the energy behind the words doesn't match, he instantly knows it's fake. Someone might sound strong, but if their body language and presence don't match that tone, the Sigma sees the gap, and that's all he needs to know. He's not easily impressed by arrogance either. Fake confidence always tries to convince. Real confidence doesn't need to. The Sigma feels it. Authentic energy is calm and steady. It doesn't fluctuate depending on who's watching. In contrast, fake confidence spikes in public and disappears in private. This awareness makes a Sigma nearly impossible to manipulate. People can lie, but energy doesn't. Even silence reveals intention. That's why the Sigma often knows what others are hiding long before they say a word. He studies patterns, not promises. A Sigma also uses this sensitivity as a filter. He doesn't waste time confronting fakeness, he simply disengages. His withdrawal isn't emotional, it's strategic. He refuses to match fake energy because doing so lowers his frequency. Instead, he conserves his presence for people who are grounded, real, and self-aware. When fake confidence meets real presence, it collapses. Because while others try to look powerful, the Sigma feels powerful without saying a thing. That's how he wins, not through dominance, but through awareness. Because the Sigma doesn't listen for words. He listens for truth. They don't compete for attention. Fake confidence feeds on attention, but Sigma males don't chase it. They don't need the spotlight to feel powerful. In fact, they're most dangerous when nobody's watching. Because their confidence doesn't depend on being seen. It comes from knowing exactly who they are, even in silence. The Sigma understands that people who constantly need to be noticed are often hiding insecurity. They speak louder, move bigger, and overcompensate to distract from self-doubt. But real strength doesn't need to announce itself. It's felt without effort. That's why, when the Sigma walks into a room, he doesn't need to demand attention. The energy shifts automatically. He's not interested in competing for validation. While others are busy performing, the Sigma stays grounded. He lets his presence speak for itself. No bragging, no showing off, no fake confidence, just calm awareness. That's what makes him unpredictable. He doesn't play the social games everyone else does. The Sigma's focus isn't on being noticed, it's on being effective. He knows that every minute spent trying to impress people is a minute stolen from self-mastery. So he redirects that energy inward, toward improving his craft, strengthening his mindset, and building results that speak louder than words ever could. Ironically, this is exactly what draws attention to him. People sense something different. A quiet strength that doesn't depend on approval. While fake confidence collapses the moment it's ignored, the Sigma's confidence only grows stronger in silence. He's not intimidated by louder personalities. He doesn't need to outshine them because he's not even in the same race. Competing for attention means giving up power, and the Sigma refuses to do that. His power comes from restraint, not reaction. That's why fake alphas can't figure him out. They expect competition, but the Sigma gives them indifference. And nothing disarms fake confidence faster than being ignored by someone who doesn't need your validation to feel complete. Because the Sigma male doesn't chase the spotlight. He becomes the reason it moves. They stay calm when others need to prove themselves. One of the fastest ways Sigma males expose fake confidence is through calmness. While others raise their voices, argue, and try to prove dominance, the Sigma stays composed. His silence under pressure makes insecure people uncomfortable. Because fake confidence only feels strong when it's loud. The Sigma doesn't see tension as something to avoid. He observes it. He knows that the louder someone gets, the less control they actually have. Real strength doesn't panic, doesn't perform, and doesn't explain. It simply watches. When someone tries to provoke him, the Sigma doesn't react. He studies. He lets people reveal themselves through emotion. He's mastered the art of restraint, knowing that the person who stays calm automatically controls the situation. Because the moment you lose composure, you lose power. Fake confidence is reactive. It needs to win arguments, dominate rooms, and get attention to survive. But the Sigma operates differently. He's not there to prove he's right. He's there to understand. His confidence is internal, not conditional. That calm energy confuses people who mistake stillness for weakness. They expect him to fight back, to show emotion, to defend himself. But he doesn't, because when you understand your value, you don't argue for it. This ability to stay calm under pressure makes the Sigma unpredictable. You can't control someone who refuses to react. You can't manipulate a man who doesn't need to win your approval. His calmness is more than emotional control. It's a psychological weapon. It shows that his self-worth isn't tied to ego battles or attention. He's confident enough to let others exhaust themselves trying to prove something while he conserves energy and keeps focus. And when the noise dies down, his calm is the only thing left standing. That's real power. Quiet, steady, and completely self-owned. Because the Sigma male doesn't need to prove he's strong. His calmness already does. They ask questions instead of showing off. Most people try to prove how much they know. The Sigma male proves how much he understands. While fake confidence talks endlessly to look superior, the Sigma asks questions, because he knows questions reveal more truth than statements ever could. When he's in a room full of loud personalities, he doesn't try to out-talk them. He observes, listens, and waits. Then he asks a simple, precise question, one that exposes who actually knows what they're talking about and who's just pretending. It's never aggressive or arrogant, just surgical. That's the Sigma's power. He doesn't compete in conversations. He controls them through curiosity. A single question from him can shift the energy completely, because real intelligence doesn't need to shout. It just needs clarity. Fake confidence crumbles under that kind of calm presence. People who rely on being loud or dominant usually don't expect to be challenged quietly. When the Sigma asks something real, something that forces depth, their performance falls apart, because fake confidence can't survive genuine insight. He understands that knowledge isn't about showing off what you know, it's about seeing what others miss. His goal isn't to be the smartest person in the room, it's to understand what everyone else is missing. That mindset gives him leverage in every situation, socially, professionally, or emotionally. The Sigma also uses questions as mirrors. Instead of telling people who they are, he lets them reveal it through their answers. How someone reacts to being questioned says more about their character than anything they could say unchallenged. This is why Sigma males rarely get caught in ego battles. They don't need to prove intelligence. They demonstrate awareness. And awareness always wins, because it exposes truth without confrontation. The Sigma's strength isn't in showing off, it's in showing restraint. He lets curiosity guide him, not ego. Because the loudest man in the room might win attention, but the one asking the right questions wins respect. They see through ego performances. Ego tries to impress, awareness sees right through it. That's why Sigma males rarely fall for ego-driven behavior. They've seen too much of it to be fooled. They can recognize when someone's acting confident versus when they actually are confident. The Sigma understands the difference between power and performance. Real power is quiet, while fake confidence always needs to be seen. You can spot it in how people talk, how they move, and what they focus on. Those controlled by ego always need validation. They dominate conversations, brag about success, and react strongly to being ignored. But the Sigma doesn't play that game. He doesn't challenge the ego directly. He simply observes it, because nothing disarms a fake alpha faster than being seen for what they really are. The Sigma's presence alone can expose insecurity, because he doesn't feed into it. He doesn't argue, doesn't compete, and doesn't give attention to the performance. He knows that ego thrives on reaction. The more you engage, the more it grows. So the Sigma does the opposite. He stays calm, detached, and neutral. His lack of emotional reaction is what frustrates those pretending to be confident. Without someone to impress, their act collapses. He can also sense when confidence is built on fear, the fear of losing control, being wrong, or being forgotten. That's why fake confidence feels unstable. It's defensive. The Sigma reads that energy instantly. Instead of confronting ego-driven people, he quietly removes himself from their orbit. He knows that arguing with an ego only wastes energy. His silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. Because once the Sigma withdraws his attention, the performer loses their stage. The Sigma doesn't need to destroy fake confidence. He lets it destroy itself. Because truth always reveals what ego tries to hide. While others get trapped in power games, the Sigma stands still, calm, observant, unbothered. Because he doesn't need to prove strength. He just is strength. strength, and that's something fake confidence can never imitate. They operate with quiet certainty. The Sigma male doesn't need to convince anyone he's confident. He simply operates like it. No noise, no overcompensation, no need for attention. His confidence shows in how he moves, not in what he says. That's why fake confidence always breaks around him, because performance can't compete with certainty. Quiet certainty is the Sigma's natural state. He doesn't doubt his direction, and he doesn't need reassurance to keep going. While others announce every step of their journey to feel validated, the Sigma works in silence. He knows that every time you talk about what you're doing, you invite opinions, and opinions create noise. His power comes from calm execution. He doesn't rush to prove progress because he knows progress takes time. That patience is what makes his presence heavy. He's not reacting to the world. He's shaping it at his own pace. This quiet certainty makes insecure people nervous. They can't read him, and that unpredictability bothers them. Fake confidence relies on control. It wants reactions. It wants recognition. But the Sigma gives neither. He's too focused on results to care about appearances. People often mistake his silence for arrogance, but it's not. It's discipline. He understands that every word, every move, every decision either builds or weakens momentum. So he only speaks when it matters, and he only acts when it's necessary. That's why when he does talk, people listen, because they know it's coming from thought, not impulse. Quiet certainty is what separates the Sigma from the crowd. He doesn't need to prove anything because he's already proven it to himself. His validation doesn't come from others. It comes from consistency. And when you operate from that level of self-trust, you stop competing. You move with direction. You become untouchable. Because the Sigma male doesn't seek approval. He already knows who he is. And that's why his silence speaks louder than anyone else's noise. He controls emotional energy. The Sigma male's biggest advantage over fake confidence isn't physical strength or status. It's emotional control. He doesn't waste energy reacting to every situation, and he doesn't let emotions make decisions for him. His power comes from mastering his internal world. Fake confidence is loud because it's unstable. It relies on attention, on reactions, on constant validation. When things go wrong, it cracks. But the Sigma stays grounded. He feels emotion like everyone else, anger, frustration, excitement, but he never lets it run the show. He processes it, redirects it, and uses it as fuel instead of noise. He's learned that reacting emotionally gives power away. The moment someone can trigger you, they control you. That's why the Sigma values composure more than appearance. His strength is invisible, the ability to stay calm while everyone else loses control. This emotional discipline makes him unpredictable. You can't manipulate a man who doesn't react. You can't compete with someone who doesn't need external approval to stay balanced. The Sigma's calmness under stress exposes the instability in others. While fake confidence demands to be seen, the Sigma quietly observes, and that's what makes him powerful. He knows when to step back, when to speak, and when to let silence do the work. Every response is intentional. Every emotion is managed. He's not suppressing feelings. He's mastering them, because he understands that emotion without control is chaos, and chaos destroys focus. Relationships, business, or conflict, this calm energy gives him an edge. While others argue from ego, he acts from strategy. He doesn't fight to be right. He acts to stay effective. And that's why fake confidence can't survive next to him. It feeds on reaction, but he gives it nothing. His composure starves insecurity until it exposes itself. The Sigma male's emotional control is quiet but absolute. He doesn't suppress emotion, he commands it. And that's what makes him untouchable. He let reality expose the pretenders. The Sigma male doesn't waste time calling people out. He doesn't argue, doesn't prove, doesn't warn. He knows reality does that job for him perfectly. Fake confidence is built on performance. It looks good until life applies pressure. The Sigma understands that you don't need to expose anyone pretending to be strong. Life eventually will. That's why he stays silent while others compete for recognition. He knows that time, discipline, and consistency always reveal who's real and who's not. The Sigma plays the long game. While fake confidence rushes to impress, he builds patiently. He doesn't need to tell people what he's doing, because the results will tell the story later. When things get hard, pretenders fade, but the Sigma stays. That's what separates them. He's seen this pattern too many times. The loudest ones are the first to break. The ones constantly showing off their success rarely have the strength to sustain it. Meanwhile, the Sigma is still moving, still improving, still silent. That's why he always wins in the end. His foundation is built on real work, not on performance. He never exposes people through words, he exposes them through contrast. His discipline makes their laziness visible. His consistency makes their excuses obvious. His calmness highlights their insecurity. The Sigma doesn't have to humiliate anyone. His results do it for him. He also knows that fake confidence burns out fast because it relies on external energy. When the attention fades, the performance collapses. But real confidence, the kind the Sigma lives by, is self-sustaining. It grows stronger in silence and sharper under pressure. Though he doesn't waste energy pointing fingers or trying to correct people, he just keeps moving forward, knowing that truth always catches up. Because when it's all said and done, time reveals everything. Who was focused, who was pretending, and who stayed true when no one was watching. The Sigma doesn't need to expose the pretenders. He just lets reality do it for him. Fake confidence makes noise. Real confidence makes moves. That's the difference. And the Sigma male knows it. He doesn't chase attention, argue for validation, or perform for approval. He builds quietly, observes patiently, and lets results speak when the time is right. Fake confidence needs to be seen to survive. But the Sigma doesn't care about being seen. He cares about being solid. He measures himself by progress, not applause. While others spend their time looking confident, he spends his time becoming it. Every move he makes is intentional. Every silence has meaning. Every absence has purpose. Because he knows that real strength doesn't need to announce itself. It shows up when it matters. So when you see a Sigma male staying quiet while others show off, understand this. He's not ignoring the game. He's already mastered it. He doesn't need to compete with fakeness, because reality will always do that for him. And that's the ultimate power. Being so authentic that performance can't touch you. If this message hits you deep, subscribe to UltraWise, like this video, and comment "Real beats fake." Because at the end of the day, fake confidence fades, but real confidence never needs to.